Hey there, movie fans! Welcome back to Fade to Fact. Today we're looking at Uncle Buck, 1989, a John Hughes comedy that gave us heart, laughs, and pancakes bigger than your head. Starring the one and only John Candy, the film took a simple setup, a lovable but irresponsible uncle forced to babysit his teenage niece and younger kids, and spun it into a warm, chaotic, and unforgettable family story. Released in August of 1989, the movie arrived when Hughes was at his creative peak, having already delivered classics like The Breakfast Club and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But what made Uncle Buck stand out was Candy's ability to play both hilarious and heartfelt, often in the same scene. It was a comedy with a surprisingly tender core, something Hughes always excelled at. Behind the scenes, there were quick scripts, breakout stars, and a few wild production stories you probably haven't heard. So grab your giant spatula, because we're diving into 20 things you never knew about Uncle Buck. 1. John Hughes wrote the script in just a few days. John Hughes had a reputation for writing at lightning speed, and Uncle Buck was no exception. He reportedly completed the screenplay in less than a week, often writing non-stop for hours on end. His quick process gave the film an organic flow, filled with spontaneous dialogue and natural family banter. Many Hollywood writers took months or even years to finish a script, but Hughes thrived under pressure and often had an entire movie ready in record time. That intensity helped keep his comedies sharp and full of energy. 2. The film was inspired by Hughes's parenting fears. The concept for Uncle Buck came from Hughes imagining a worst-case scenario as a parent. He once wondered what it would be like to leave his kids with a relative who wasn't exactly reliable. Out of that thought experiment was born Buck Russell, a loud, messy, and unpredictable uncle who somehow rises to the challenge. Hughes was brilliant at turning everyday anxieties into comedy, and that mix of chaos and heart gave the movie its staying power. 3. John Candy was always the first choice. From the beginning, Hughes had only one actor in mind, John Candy. After their collaboration on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Hughes knew Candy had the perfect blend of clumsy charm and genuine warmth. While other roles in the movie went through the usual casting shuffle, the role of Buck was locked from day one. Candy himself admitted he felt an immediate connection to the character, bringing so much of his own personality to the role. It's one of those rare cases where the actor and character feel inseparable. 4. Macaulay Culkin's breakout role. Macaulay Culkin was only 9 years old when he landed the role of Miles, but his sharp timing stole nearly every scene he was in. His rapid-fire interrogation of Buck at the front door became one of the most quoted parts of the film. Hughes noticed immediately that Culkin had something special, which led directly to casting him as Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. In many ways, Uncle Buck was the true beginning of Culkin's career as one of the most iconic child stars of the 90s. 5. The house was filmed in Hughes' favorite area. The Russell family's suburban Chicago home looked familiar for a reason. It was filmed in the same area Hughes used for Home Alone. Hughes often shot in real neighborhoods around Winnetka, Illinois, preferring authentic Midwestern settings to Hollywood sets. This gave his films a grounded, relatable feel that audiences connected with. Locals sometimes recognized their streets on screen, which became part of Hughes's cinematic trademark. For fans, the houses almost feel like characters themselves. 6. A real high school was used for filming. Many of the school scenes were shot on location at a real high school outside Chicago. Hughes liked the authenticity of real hallways, lockers, and classrooms rather than building them on sound stages. Students and teachers from the school sometimes watched filming and even appeared as extras. This decision added to the film's grounded atmosphere and made the teenage storyline feel more believable. Hughes always believed that real settings gave his comedies a touch of truth that audiences subconsciously felt. 7. Gaby Hoffmann made her film debut. Before becoming known for roles in movies like Field of Dreams and Sleepless in Seattle, Gabby Hoffman made her big-screen debut in Uncle Buck. She played young Maisie Russell, delivering some of the film's most adorable and funny lines. Hoffman later said she loved working with John Candy, who treated her like his own daughter on set. Starting her career alongside such a warm and generous co-star gave her the confidence to keep acting throughout the 90s and beyond. 8. Jean Louisa Kelly's first role, too. Another young actor making her debut was Jean Louisa Kelly, who played rebellious teenager Tia Russell. Her performance stood out, thanks to her sharp wit and natural sarcasm. Kelly later went on to appear in numerous TV shows and movies, including Yes, Dear and Mr. Holland's Opus. Looking back, it's remarkable that Uncle Buck launched not one, but two future careers for young actors who had never been in a film before. 9. Candy struggled with the giant pancake scene. One of the movie's most memorable moments is Buck cooking pancakes so large they barely fit on the griddle. Behind the scenes, John Candy found the sequence surprisingly tricky. The oversized props made it difficult to flip or move them around without breaking. Crew members had to help carefully set up the gag so it looked effortless. Candy's exasperated expressions weren't entirely acting. He really was wrestling with enormous pancakes. 10. The bowling alley was a local favorite. The bowling scenes were shot in a real Chicago-area bowling alley, adding to the film's down-to-earth vibe. Locals who frequented the spot were excited to see their neighborhood hangout on the big screen. Hughes loved using places that felt like part of everyday life, from diners to bowling alleys. This gave Uncle Buck an extra layer of relatability, because everyone has that one local spot where half the town seems to hang out. 11. Candy added his own improvisation. Although Hughes's scripts were famously tight, John Candy was encouraged to improvise. Many of Buck's funniest lines came straight from Candy himself, riffing on set and trying different deliveries. His natural comedic instincts often elevated even the simplest moments. Cast members remembered breaking into laughter during takes, making it tough to get clean shots. That balance of Hughes's structure with Candy's looseness is what gave the film its unique comedic rhythm. 12. The drill scene was controversial. One of the more outrageous gags in the movie involves Buck threatening Tia's creepy boyfriend, Bug, with a power drill. While it was played for laughs, some early test audiences found the moment surprisingly intense for a comedy. Hughes defended the scene, arguing that Buck was exactly the kind of guy who'd use humor mixed with menace to protect his niece. Over time, the moment has become a fan favorite, showing just how far Buck would go for family. 13. Candy's family visited the set. Often, during filming, John Candy's wife and children frequently visited the set. Candy was a devoted family man, and he wanted his kids to see him at work. Crew members recalled how Candy would light up whenever his family came around, often introducing them proudly to cast and crew. This behind-the-scenes warmth mirrored the film's themes of family connection, making Candy even more beloved among his colleagues. 14. The cigars were real. Buck's constant cigar chomping wasn't just a prop. Candy actually smoked real cigars during filming. At the time, it added authenticity to his slobbish yet lovable character. Candy later joked that he probably smoked more cigars during Uncle Buck than in any other film. While it gave Buck his iconic look, it also wasn't the healthiest choice, something Candy himself admitted in later interviews. 15. Hughes considered a spin-off TV show early on. The success of Uncle Buck sparked early discussions about continuing the story on television. Hughes himself toyed with the idea of a sitcom adaptation, but ultimately passed on developing it at the time. A TV version eventually did happen years later in the 1990s, though without Hughes's involvement. While the spin-off shows never captured the same magic, it's proof of how much impact the character of Uncle Buck had on audiences. 16. Candy connected deeply with the role. John Candy later revealed that he felt closer to Uncle Buck than to many of his other characters. Although Buck was rough around the edges, Candy related to the idea of being underestimated, but ultimately having a big heart. Friends said Candy often felt typecast as just the funny guy, and this role allowed him to show his warmth more fully. That personal connection may be why his performance feels so genuine decades later. 17. The teen rebellion theme was classic Hughes. Like many of Hughes's films, Uncle Buck explored teenage rebellion through Tia's clashes with her uncle. Hughes always had a gift for portraying the frustrations of adolescence, whether in 16 Candles or The Breakfast Club. By pairing Tia's eye-rolling sarcasm with Buck's bumbling attempts at authority, Hughes created comedic tension rooted in real family dynamics. Viewers saw both sides of the struggle, making the story both funny and relatable. 18. Candy's busy schedule almost derailed filming. At the time of Uncle Buck, John Candy was in high demand, juggling multiple projects. Coordinating his schedule was a constant challenge for producers. There were even rumors that if filming had been delayed much longer, Candy might not have been able to stay on board. Thankfully, everything lined up, and Candy delivered one of his most beloved performances. The near miss only adds to the film's behind-the-scenes drama. 19. Critics were mixed at first. When the movie premiered in 1989, critics gave it a mixed reception. Some praised Candy's performance, while others thought the humor was too uneven. Audiences, however, had the final word. Uncle Buck became a box office hit and a fan favorite. Over time, its reputation has grown, with many now considering it one of Hughes's most charming comedies. It's a reminder that sometimes critical reviews don't capture the lasting appeal of a film. 20. The film inspired generations of babysitter comedies. Uncle Buck paved the way for countless comedies about unreliable babysitters or unlikely caretakers. Its influence can be seen in movies and sitcoms throughout the 90s and beyond. The blend of outrageous comedy with heartfelt family lessons became a formula that Hollywood revisited many times. But none have quite matched the magic of John Candy, flipping giant pancakes or threatening teenagers with a drill. That mix of heart and hilarity is what made Uncle Buck unforgettable. And there you have it, 20 things you never knew about Uncle Buck. From John Hughes's lightning-fast writing to Macaulay Culkin's breakout moment, this film was packed with behind-the-scenes stories that made it more than just another comedy. At its heart, the movie reminded us that family can be messy, funny, and complicated, but also the most important thing in the world. John Candy's legacy continues to shine through roles like Uncle Buck, reminding audiences why he remains one of the most beloved comedic actors of all time. So the next time you watch, think about those little details that made it special. Thanks for tuning in to Fade to Fact, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more movie secrets.